Have you ever left a conversation feeling completely drained, even though nothing outwardly negative happened? Or maybe there's someone in your life who seems to suck the energy right out of you every time they're around. Well, what if I told you that this isn't just bad vibes, it's actually rooted in psychology? Specifically, it's something Carl Jung, one of history's most influential psychologists, can help us understand. Today, we'll dive into Jungian theory to uncover why some people drain your energy and how understanding these dynamics can transform your relationships. Before we get into the juicy stuff, let me give you a quick primer on Carl Jung. He was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who founded analytical psychology. Jung is best known for concepts like introversion versus extroversion, archetypes, and the collective unconscious. His work wasn't just about diagnosing mental health issues, it was about helping people understand themselves better so they could live more fulfilling lives. And guess what? A lot of his ideas still apply today, especially when it comes to navigating those tricky interpersonal dynamics where energy gets zapped. So, let's start with one of Jung's most famous contributions, personality types. You've probably heard terms like introvert or extrovert, but do you know where they come from? They originated with Jung's exploration of how people interact with the world. Introverts recharge by spending time alone, while extroverts thrive on social interaction. Now, think about this. What happens when an introvert spends too much time with an extrovert, or vice versa? If the extrovert doesn't recognize the introvert's need for space, they might push them to engage more than they're comfortable with. Meanwhile, the introvert might perceive the extrovert as overwhelming or intrusive. Both parties end up frustrated and exhausted. It's not personal, but it feels that way because their energy needs are fundamentally misaligned. This mismatch can happen in friendships, romantic relationships, or even professional settings. For example, imagine being stuck at a networking event when all you want to do is go home and recharge. That's not laziness, it's biology and psychology colliding. Understanding these differences can save you from unnecessary frustration and help you set boundaries that protect your energy. But here's where things get deeper and darker. According to Jung, everyone has a shadow. No, I'm not talking about literal shadows lurking behind you. The shadow represents parts of ourselves that we repress or deny. These could be traits we see as undesirable, emotions we don't want to confront, or unresolved conflicts from our past. The problem arises when someone else triggers our shadow. Maybe they exhibit qualities we dislike in ourselves, whether it's arrogance, insecurity, or aggression. When this happens, we project our inner tensions onto them. Instead of recognizing that we have unresolved issues, we blame them. This projection creates emotional friction, making interactions exhausting. For instance, picture someone who constantly criticizes others. On the surface, you might find them annoying or draining, but according to Jung, their behavior might be triggering your own fear of judgment or perfectionism. By confronting these projections head-on through self-reflection, you can stop giving away your power and stop letting toxic people drain your energy. Let's take it a step further. Jung believed that certain universal patterns exist within the human psyche, which he called archetypes. These include figures like the hero, the caregiver, the saboteur, and, yes, the parasite. While archetypes aren't inherently good or bad, they shape how we show up in relationships. Some people unconsciously embody parasitic behaviors. They might play the victim to gain sympathy, manipulate others into doing their bidding, or leech off someone else's emotional resources without reciprocating. Sound familiar? These dynamics often stem from unhealed wounds or undeveloped aspects of their personality. Jung would argue that such behaviors tap into the collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of symbols and instincts common to all humans. In other words, we're wired to respond to these archetypal patterns, sometimes against our better judgment. Recognizing when someone is operating from a parasitic archetype allows you to step back and assess whether the relationship is serving you or draining you. One of Jung's core teachings is the concept of individuation. This is the lifelong process of integrating different parts of yourself, both light and dark, to become whole. When you embrace individuation, you develop greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. Here's the catch. People who haven't done their own inner work often lack boundaries. They may expect you to meet their needs at the expense of yours, creating codependent or one-sided relationships. Without clear limits, you risk becoming emotionally depleted. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's essential. Jung would say that protecting your energy is part of honoring your true self. Whether it's saying no to excessive demands, limiting contact with draining individuals, or simply taking time for self-care, boundaries empower you to conserve your energy for what truly matters. All right, enough theory, let's talk action. Here are 3 practical steps inspired by Jung's work to help you deal with energy drainers. First, identify your triggers. Pay attention to how specific people make you feel. Are they triggering your shadow? Are they mirroring traits you dislike in yourself? Awareness is the first step toward breaking free from draining patterns. Second, practice shadow work. Dive into your subconscious. Journaling, therapy, or meditation can help you uncover repressed emotions and integrate them. The less fragmented you are internally, the less vulnerable you'll be to external triggers. Lastly, set firm boundaries. Decide what you will and won't tolerate in your relationships. Communicate your needs clearly and don't be afraid to distance yourself from toxic influences. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. To sum it all up, Carl Jung gives us powerful tools to understand why some people drain our energy and what we can do about it. From introversion, extroversion, mismatches to shadow projections, parasitic archetypes and boundary setting, his insights reveal the hidden forces shaping our interactions. The next time you feel drained after spending time with someone, pause and ask yourself, is this person aligning with my energy, or am I caught in a cycle of projection and depletion? With a little self-awareness and intentional action, you can reclaim your energy and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. So tell me in the comments, what archetype drains you the most? Is it the victim, the critic, or maybe the perfectionist? Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay reflective, and remember, your energy belongs to you.